Hi guys, say hello.
Hello.
I'm here as well.
Yes, we are joined by Aquaman and the Ghost Man. Two Aquaman, yes.
I do a lot of things. Some of them I
So who's
enjoy.
Aquaman and who's Ghost Man?
That's a good question.
Okay.
All I know is I went in SpongeBob because I can't do that.
Yeah, you dodged a bullet when Stove showed up.
I did.
They call
I was like,
Jason
please do
Voorhees
it.
versus
Please.
Myers.
Alright. So yeah, how much do we know about the episode? Because I'm completely spoiler free.
I have seen the preview analysis for both. I've seen the sneak peek for the fight, and I know what the next time is.
Pretty much same, actually.
Oh, so I'm the only one who's managed to dodge everything. I didn't watch the previews or the sneak peek.
I didn't go out of my way to dodge most of it. I want to see what I can.
I was too lazy.
There's not been a lot of talk on my end about this one, and that kind of scares me.
Okay, well, let's get started, and I'm going to turn the sound down a bit because I don't want it to drown us out. Make sure it's actually picking all three of us up. Okay, it is.
Drown Aquaman.
Alright, let's watch
Oh,
it.
don't drown me.
Rooster Teeth. Oh, I love this company.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I like this already.
That's
I
nice.
like this.
I like this. Oh, I like Wiz having a flashlight under his hand. That's cool.
Michael Myers. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to bring terror and fright on this Halloween night on Death Battle.
Hey, no. Changing that thing is what not Death Battle does. You can't rip off our shtick. I mean, I guess that's unfair of me to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shut up!
If you know what I mean. This is the curse of Jason Voorhees.
Smell it.
God, he looks so rancid.
Bullied and harassed all of his life. Only
I do remember when he was against
Possible
an
Deadeye?
Arsenal.
No.
It's only
I remember all this.
6'3".
I think his height
You mean
varies.
only 6'3"?
I thought he was way taller than that. I'm 6 foot.
His height varies. Like I know for Freddy vs. Jason, he got taller because they wanted him to really tower over Robert Englund.
Yeah, Ken Kersinger's a pretty fucking big guy.
Yeah.
I always thought that was Kurgan from WWF. Aw, hey Pamela. Betsy Palmer, I miss you.
I just want to point out that shot looks like someone's about to take a piss on the grave.
Ah, yes. I love, wait, her hands. I love that.
Yeah.
How they fucking like grab at her stump.
Is it still there?
Holy shit! Yeah, he's definitely alive. Wait, has he been living in the lake this whole time? Jason has
I think there's a theory that ending didn't actually happen.
It was like a weird hallucination dream.
Yep. Oh, there's
Yeah.
the comic.
Yeah.
Ow.
Even when one of the few survivors
Hey, Timothy.
hacked him to pieces, Jason rose again.
It's little Uncle Fester.
I'm kind of
Oh,
expecting
it's part 6.
the mine shaft explosion, right, to be brought up, and then that to be compared to the house exploding in the conclusion and revealing that Michael didn't actually take the full brunt of the explosion.
I mean, the Hellworm's not even contentious. That's just real. That's canon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the wheelchair. Goodbye.
What a great kill.
Skulls and pierced metal. Even
This goes way down.
he can be resourceful and oddly creative with his kills. He might bludgeon you to death with
Arsenal, a tree.
drown you in a garbage
Basically anything. A party horn?
in a bedful. Worst of all,
Jungle Gym.
Killing someone with a party horn.
oh, you think you can
I do remember the sauna rock.
again, idiot? He can tell.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah, well how about
Hey,
that he appeared in multiple places at once around this dance floor. See? Teleporting. Wrong. Hallucinations resulting from a mix of cocaine and panic. Okay, smartass. How about when he teleported from
That's a
one
film theory.
to another?
How you doing?
There.
Hello.
Actually, when watching the full scene for complete context, there is plenty of time afforded for Jason to jump down the deck while off camera. He is quite athletic after all.
They're really trying to Matt Pat this.
The guy's built like he's made
Just
of
imagining him running. I
Are we watching
can't.
the same movie? Look, Look, fans
I mean, he did in the
have
reboot,
for
didn't he?
years, and while admittedly
Yeah, but not in
Like
this
the-
version, not Zombie Jason.
Not enough to prove actual teleportation. Okay, how about this one? In Jason X, where 3 soldiers are shooting him straight on, and he just disappears. Poof, gone. While they're looking right at him. Goddamn.
Doesn't Michael do something like that?
Yeah.
I'm sure
With
there's
Loomis? I
logical
can't remember which Halloween.
Yeah, yeah, he does.
Just stare at this scene while processing 900 trillion frames per second. And Boomstick is correct.
Ha!
Also, now my eyes are broken. Joy.
You know, Jason can actually teleport in the video game, so I believe it.
I suppose teleporting
you.
would explain how.
I love that Ringmaster is playing a Switch.
I like this. Yeah, like this whole like, this is great.
Are you sure about this?
This is really charming.
Dummy.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh no. It better not just be Deadpool.
Jason's unstoppable bloodlust
Just
makes him a
Jason walking
horrifying
around.
threat. Even if you think you're protected by a foot of solid steel, he'll just crash through it to stab you.
I just imagined it
It's
being
tough to
Deadpool
believe
killing
there may
everyone.
actually be a deadlier Jason
Escaped
out
hell
there.
by force.
A deadlier Jason. It is believed they
Jason
made it.
X, oh no.
Did they just say that it's
Jason.
believed that there's a stronger Jason? There just is.
No, he exists.
Normal Jason later fought
Hi.
Jason and actually held his own.
They're giving him
No.
Uber Jason scaling. Oh
No.
Only natural for a monster.
No.
Other supernatural
No, he did not.
Krueger, Leatherface, and the groovy man himself,
Ash Williams.
So be warned, if you ever
Let's go.
That's the most perfect, like, interaction you could have with them. Just Jason no-selling Ash's attack and Ash
That-
just
that scene
reacting
of-
to it.
Ah, crap.
That scene they just showed of dude in like the little outhouse. That was Friday 5. Jason's not in that one.
Michael Myers
Yeah,
was
it's
born into the
Roy.
world as a seemingly normal child.
Weird.
However, beneath his pale, blank face, hid
I didn't know he was a
something
ginger,
dark,
what?
Something evil.
You know, that would make sense.
He stabbed his sister Judy to death when
Stereotypically.
He was just 6 years old. Oh, what a rascal. Michael was institutionalized at a sanitarium where he simply sat still. almost
that's
like
good
a
editing.
machine. His psychiatrist,
It's
Dr.
so stupid in the new trilogy in Halloween Kills. They're like, oh, he just wants to go back to his house and look out the window. That's his end goal.
with several murders, including
61.
his Beyonce. There was no helping or
Also
stopping
6'3".
Yeah.
Also
And his
6'3".
middle name is Audrey.
he wanted to kill. After 15 years, the night before Halloween, he broke out of the sanitarium, leaving behind one word: sister. The story goes, Michael had another sibling, Lori, and for some unknowable reason, he wanted her to suffer the same fate as Judy. And everyone else, really. He's not too picky, and he could do it too. For in his hands, anything can be a deadly weapon.
I will kill as many people as I have to, as long as you are one of them.
He's exploded heads, boiled people alive, and
Oh,
used
God.
his trademark knife to stab
Exploding heads is kind of misleading because he does that by like sticking a dude to.
How does that-
like,
hold on,
a
how
fuse
long
box
is
or
that
something
knife?
Like that.
How long was that knife that he pinned that guy to the wall to?
He pins so many people to walls with knives that are
Like,
not
I
big.
always
videos
question.
with
I always question that.
Fine for nearly all his life. At some point, he apparently taught himself how to drive.
Also, I want to point out they said trademark knife. His trademark knife.
Didn't he learn how to drive from watching Loomis or something? 'Cause I like that.
them. It's never explained. I don't think. He just
I like that explanation.
learns how to drive.
Killed her. But Loomis intervened, shooting
Loomis is
Michael and
cool.
sending him out a window. Phew. Guess that's the end of
Yeah, sometimes he's completely off his rocker.
He simply
Oh, yeah.
vanished, only
I
to
mean,
return later that night
yeah,
as
makes
if
sense.
nothing had happened.
I shot him 6 times.
Even after being set on fire and rendered
Oh, that's hot.
Michael Myers
Ah.
could not be stopped. Almost
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
some kind of invincible undead monster.
Many explanations have been given for Michael's strange
Oh, boy.
abilities, but some less reputable sources suggest he's bound to the ancient druidic Curse of Thorn, whose symbol is, well, they say it's an ancient icon of Halloween, but it's actually the Norse rune for Thor, sometimes called the Thorn Rune. I think they just Googled rune and thorn and called it a day.
Whoa. Is Michael Myers a Viking?
Yes, awesome. Curse or no curse.
Now I want him to wear the helmet that Vikings don't actually wear.
And his victims
The fucking horns, yeah.
coming.
Uh-oh.
You said, uh-oh. While explaining Michael away with a Nothing more than a
He left the switch.
The fact of the matter
Imagine it's just an Amogus.
why he is so
Oh
cruel,
my god.
so
I love Boomstick was like, you said oh.
just is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Oh, I hate that mask where the neck is on the outside. That's so ugh.
Michael thrives not just on the satisfaction of murder, but the fear it inflicts in others. Even scarier, his kills are done with surgical precision. He can murder you as quickly or slowly as he wants. This guy knows exactly what he's doing with that kitchen knife. He's like a hibachi chef of death. And yet, his attacks were almost brought to an end by Laurie herself. But when the time came for the final blow, Michael
Busta Rhymes
survived the church explosion.
He did. Oh yeah, I guess he overpowered Busta a few times, but Busta was definitely giving him the hands.
He's also either impossibly sneaky or he
Trick
can
mother.
use teleportation, because he once moved through a yard full of motion sensors
Hey, creepy
without
kid.
setting off a single one until he wanted to. Look at this. There's just no stopping him. Fill him full of bullets, Michael will come back ready to rip off your head. Put him in the center of an exploding church, he'll survive and go on to kill dozens more people, just for dramatic effect. It was this relentless evil that made the people of Haddonfield go ballistic and band together to
Oh
end
boy,
Michael
they're bringing
Myers
this up.
once and for all. Unfortunately, the town would soon realize that was just not possible. Any ordinary person would have been long dead after what he experienced, but he took all of the town's punishment, got right back up, and went right back to doing what he does.
Coolest part of that movie.
What's the creepiest part about all this? They never
have to sit through like
He's
2.5
still out
hours
there
of it.
looking for his next prey, I assume. So every Halloween night, lock your doors, turn off your lights, and pray you'll
They never caught him, depending on the timeline.
man is real, and his name is Michael Myers.
I didn't see a Shrek reference. I'm giving that a plus.
They really hyped up Michael, didn't they? Like a lot.
They gave him the church explosion, which is interesting.
Friggin' James Bond over there.
I'm a bit concerned with you. Okay, this I've not seen any of this now.
I like the filter.
Oh, it's
It's a reference to Loomis's line in the original.
Pamela.
Yeah. Pamela.
Oh, a stock scream. Nice.
Also, she's wearing the Pamela sweater. That's neat. That one was mine. Oh, Jesus.
Oh shit, they're kung fu action here.
He just threw a body at him.
Nice.
Ow. Oh my god.
Ooh. Nice,
Okay.
nice tree
Pinned
pin.
into a tree.
Who the fuck is this?
I know this guy's from the game because all the. Basically everything but Michael is from the game, I'm pretty sure.
Little finger
Environment, maybe
twitch.
not?
Ooh, get the axe. Get him.
Give him a minute.
I like what they're going for with this.
I hear the breathing. Oh, jeez!
This
Give him
dude's still
oh.
sprinting like fucking 60 miles
You
an
see-
hour after he
you
got
see
fucking
that
axed in
there
the
was-
shoulder.
There was the tree with the knife in it. He ran by it and
Yeah.
Jason was gone.
This dude's so fast.
I keep interrupting
This
each
guy's
other.
the MVP.
It's over.
This guy was the MVP.
Ooh!
They were like 20 feet away from him.
Oh,
dude.
that
I
looked a
just
bit janked.
stopped. Oh!
Yeah.
Hit him with a tombstone.
Oh, it's Pamela's grave. Just happens to be
Ooh.
there. Alright.
Well, the pumpkin turned into her head.
Oh! Ooh. Ah!
Oh, Jesus. There's his knife.
Oh. Oh, it's done.
Decapitation.
Jeez.
Oh, I like that.
Hmm.
That exploded. Off he goes to kill more
Are we
kids.
sure he's dead? Can't be too careful with these guys. Michael Myers won't be rising from the grave this time. Jason was too much for him. The story
Yeah,
may paint these
no shit.
slashers as unstoppable, but they do have limits and can be understood. To Michael's credit, he could match Jason in a lot of ways. Both were experts in methods of killing, and both could totally teleport. Theoretically. Though if both of them really could teleport, then neither had an advantage in that regard. So teleportation deniers can rest easy knowing it wasn't really a factor here. Even the explosions they both survived were similar in size and destructibility. But Jason held the edge.
But
with his
we
superior
don't get a calc on either one?
Michael
No,
taking his
the
death was
church
likely,
explosion actually looks
clever,
bigger.
But he did it because he explicitly could not survive something like decapitation or getting half his torso
Decapitation.
blown off. But Jason could. He also had more experience fighting other supernatural enemies like Leatherface, Freddy, and his uber self. So I doubt
Supernatural enemy Leatherface.
I was gonna say, is Leatherface supernatural? I thought he was some hick with a chainsaw.
I think it would depend on the incarnation, but
striking Michael down first. In a battle between two unkillable monsters, it's only natural it would come down to who was more unkillable.
I do like that he just like cut his head off with a fucking basic ass knife.
Just smashed it. Oh, they're all dead.
Who took the switch?
Oh yeah!
Who the fuck is that?
Was that Jason?
Was that the fucking Crimson Chin? Who the fuck was that?
It looked like Stan Smith.
Alright, it's time for Lich King versus Sauron. Let's go.
Those boxes right over there, and by downloading the battle music linked down below.
And before Voldemort.
I fucking told you! I fucking told you. I
There it
don't
is.
know who that guy is, but I know that one's the Lich King. Okay, I'm gonna say my opinion. The reason they put in the series at the bottom has to be because no one knows who the hell Sauron is.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go back, so I'm gonna see if I can pause.
By my mother's mandible, I say nay.
Okay, it can't. That's definitely not Crimson Chin. Chin's too
Okay,
small.
so pause it again when it does the close up, because it does a close up in the next scene.
That certainly does not look like either Jason or Michael.
I think it's supposed to be Jason though, because you can hear the ki ma 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 in the background.
But look at that jaw definition.
That is
Oh
insane.
yeah,
yeah.
hockey masks do not look like that. I don't know, maybe it's just some random dude.
I think this one was alright.
Oh wait, is that the killer from Total Drama?
That's
And
that's
he's
fucking
doing-
Chef. That's the
Yeah, he's
chef.
doing-
That's Chef Hatchet.
Like he's breathing in his hand.
No,
and
I
sniffing
meant.
it.
Oh wait, no. Yeah, it would have to be Hatchet because I think Hatchet's got more of a chin than what's his name, Tom. I'm trying to remember what the killer's name
Yeah.
Is
was.
his name Tom?
There's a killer,
That's awesome.
right? And there's like a horror episode in Total Drama Island. I think he also comes back in a couple other episodes. His name is just Tom, I think.
Remember?
I like that. I like that a lot. Tomothy. I liked it. I
Yeah,
really
it was
did.
okay. I kind of wish, like, I think it's a neat idea to have them both also chasing another guy while they're fighting. But I feel like in a way it kind of takes away from, like, it didn't feel like there was very much fighting at all in this.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, but I don't think it's bad at all. No, I think above all I can appreciate what they were going for.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I definitely like, like-
effect.
I was hearing from a lot of people that this is like a really, really cool analysis. I like the campfire aspect to it. I like that all the little characters are here. That's neat. I do find the analysis strange though, because I don't think we got a single calc this entire analysis.
No, I'd be okay with that.
remember.
I kind of what I wanted, right? Because they mentioned the explosion. They never show us like the epicenter point, right? Go like where Michael was relative to it, because we see very
Right.
blatantly when they show the Jason explosion, because it's video, it's in the movie. He's basically right in the center of that explosion. Like, there's no way he was taking less than roughly the full brunt without accounting for surface area, which would account for which Michael would have going to. But I kind of want to know, like, how close was Michael to that explosion? Because, like, I've never seen that feat brought up, even though it's so blatant. It makes me imagine that Michael was, like, a good distance away.
Yeah, like, it's strange, because the whole point of, like, having a calc in the first place and, like, showing these things is so that you can compare numbers directly to actually find out which is bigger, like, factually to an extent, because, you know, people will calc things differently. But also just to give people a context of, like, how this feat happened, like just give people context in general.
Yeah, I would have liked, right, if they had calced that and maybe calc something for speed, but you know they did the calc so that the difference wasn't really that big, and so they have the calc, but the calc ends up not being a key factor. It's there to back up their claim without being the sole thing. With that being said, I do think the analysis is probably my favorite part of the episode. Like, not the conclusion.
I can agree with their core reasoning for who won, like, just Jason being more unkillable and
that was
like, having a slight edge in some other stats. But I wish they would have gone more into their reasoning as to, like I guess just go a little more in-depth with some of their abilities and feats. Like, I don't know, the actual analysis of the characters, it was alright, but I feel like they could have gone deeper.
Yeah. Alright. Let's go back to the fight, because, like, there are a few things I noticed that do catch me off guard a bit.
Hello, I'm here to murder.
Like, this is fine, because, like, you might, like, obviously, some people would assume that's Jason until this happens and they realize that wasn't Jason, right? That's cool. I like this a lot.
No, Jason, whenever you wear that sweater in the game, he assumes you're his mom. So what if Jason just thought Michael killed his mom right there?
Yeah. Like, the action in that whole bit was super fast-paced. Like,
Michael's the aggressor either way. Like, Michael came up behind him and fucking stabbed him, so...
I know, but it might make the ending, where it's just Pamela motivating him out of nowhere, might make a little more...
Yeah.
I know it would make sense anyway, but it might be more...
Yeah, I get you. Just like a better through line.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked if instead of Michael coming out like this, he just sort of faded in normally and then raised the knife.
Yeah.
But I still like that they referenced that at all. I like that. But the action in this whole sequence is super fast paced for these characters.
Yeah, it feels strange.
You throw a corpse at him.
That's cool. That's the Jason thing. This is good. I think the jank really
I love
works
the
for
repeated
this.
stabbing and pinning to the tree.
Like, when it comes to janky animation, that was perfect for it, because that's exactly how Michael would do it. This is where
And then
this
dude comes in for like half of the fucking screen time of this fight.
Can we calc how fast this guy's running? Because he's running
Something about
really
Michael's fast walk there was a bit weird too, but that's not a big deal. I do like this guy takes a fucking Michael Myers axe to the back of him, and he's just like fine.
And he's just fine. It's just like the
and
video
he's still
game,
sprinting at like fucking 60 miles an hour. Like, this dude's going so fast.
Wait, go back to his face. You see that? He looked weird.
I like the blood, right? The blood
Before
that's
he got hit,
persistent.
like right as he got hit.
Yeah, yeah.
He looks like one of those drama masks, you know?
It looks like the fucking, it looks like the Batgirl death face.
Yeah, oh my god, it does!
That has to be on purpose, right?
Oh, yeah,
No
I
way.
do. I really like the fact that he runs past the fucking tree with the knife in it. That's great. I love that. I love the implication that Jason didn't pull it out. He just kept walking.
He just walked through it.
Like, that's awesome. I love that. That's great.
Is this the same car from earlier?
I don't
guess
think
it would be, because the tree's right there.
Oh, God, yeah, it could be. Right, because Jason did throw the corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that part felt a little like Jason turned around and fucking swung really fast.
Did Jason throw the corpse with the sweater on, or did he throw the body
I
bag
think it was
corpse?
the sweater, because the body bag was further away.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I like Jason's non-reaction.
Ow.
That's a bit fast. And then this guy's running immediately.
Yeah, I love that you
looks
see
like
them in the
Jason,
back,
it looks
though.
like Jason got stung by a wasp, and then he's just turning around like, fuck!
Yeah.
bitch.
Oh yeah, the
love that
back
you
them
can see
fighting
them
in the
in the back,
background is
though.
great. Like that's awesome.
That's really cool.
Because like there are
Why
a lot
does this guy go-
of little things that bother me, but there's also things like that that I just love that they did.
I mean, I know
This
this
is
is very
cool.
horror 101, but this dude just gets 20 feet away and assumes everything will be okay.
Wait a minute, hold on. Who killed him? It's the machete.
Jason.
Jason, I
Jason,
assume, because that's
yeah.
the machete blade.
And then
Yeah,
Michael's
yeah,
just
there it
behind
is.
him with the axe. That felt very almost Dragon Ball.
Yeah, that felt like Omni-Man fucking flying around one-handed, just like bumping into
Ultra
people and
instinct
shit.
Jason.
That's what that feels like. That feels like Omni-Man pushing Mark is what it feels like.
Just imagine if
Definitely
instead
gives
Michael had
a-
like chopped Jason's arm off and Jason just smacked the axe out of his hand with the other arm. That would have been
Definitely
neat.
gives an idea. Jason is strong as fuck.
Yeah. That
He
was
just hits
hits
him
him
with a
with a
tombstone.
that is way higher impact than anything I've ever seen Michael do. Just pull a tombstone out of the
Yeah.
ground one-handed and shatter it like he's Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, like we
Shock
just
you.
have the context that Michael can pull a tombstone out of the ground. He just fucking smashes it over his head like a dinner plate.
Like that's Jason Voorhees sort of stuff. I like this.
I do like that the pumpkin turns into the head, though.
I think I would
Who
have
put a
liked.
pumpkin next to Pamela's
You know what I
grave?
would have liked? I would have liked if that had a
Someone
different
with-
name on it. Imagine if that had a different name on
Someone
it.
with a
and
sense of humor.
I like
It
the
would've
Halloween pumpkin turning into Pamela's head. But imagine if that was someone
That-
else's grave and it was.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
That would have been
Yeah.
actually way better.
I think it's just strange that there's a jack-o'-lantern next to that anyway. Who put that there?
An asshole. That's
Oh,
cool.
you
That had a lot of impact. Just the fucking
He's like, oh,
full
my
blown
brain.
machete into
Oh.
Michael's gut.
Why?
I don't know if you've ever tried to stab with a machete, but that's not what a machete's made for. That takes some fucking gorilla strength.
Yeah, that's straight up. That is Jason's voice. Jason's mask never came off. I'm not a fan of that.
Oh,
I like the 3-prong kill, and the way his head
is
flies
that like
off.
the neck muscle?
I don't
coming
know.
out?
I don't know
Ugh.
why that's there.
It looks
looks
like just
like-
vague neck chunks, kind of like what happened when Doomsday ripped Hulk's head
Yeah,
off.
But
I was
that
thinking,
made
you can
sense.
even see the spine, like you can see
Like a
the
big neck
part of the
shit.
vertebrae.
Like the Hulk Doomsday one made sense, right? Because he just yanked it off. Jason here like cuts it off. Also, that knife
Yeah, so that
is huge. Holy
like
shit!
if it's enough to take a head off like that, that'd probably be a pretty clean cut.
Yeah,
It's just weird that
The meat's also
neck
on the
is
outside
cut,
of the
and then
mask?
The mask is way above of it. Yeah, the mask is cut in a different. Because the mask goes lower than that, doesn't it?
that will depend
Yeah,
on the
the mask-
continuity, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
depends on the continuity.
Imagine if Michael's arms had gone up towards his stump like Pamela's did. That would
Oh no, my head.
That would have been cool as a reference.
Like, I don't know, maybe I just missed it in the analysis, but they mention the Cult of Thorn and they make fun of how kind of dumb it is. I don't recall that they really went into what that means or what that does.
No,
like, I don't think
they-
they explained what the curse is.
Well, I think because most people generally disregard the curse because it's so vague in all the
Yeah, they
ways that it
kinda
would be
just-
relevant.
They just brought it up, said it makes no sense, and moved on.
Yeah, I'm
I
fine
do
with that
like
because I don't care
tombstone
about it.
smash. The tombstone.
Yeah, I think
smash.
that's cool. The
Just boom.
Yeah.
it is the kill
I
is
like it.
very
It's like
Jason
a-
Voorhees.
It's like getting kindling for a fire, how you just, like, put the hatchet in the wood and then just, like, smack it against something.
The whole kill is like the way Jason would kill honestly a kind of a rando. Just stabs him. I like Jason sort of like, like he's a bit
God.
dazed. And he's like,
That hurt my brain.
hits him a second time. Then the third hit, he kills him. And then he doesn't need to do a
Now,
fourth
hold
hit.
on. Go back to him pulling the shit out of his head.
Okay. So this is the axe, alright. Yeah.
Now, when he pulls that, the back of the knife is pointed towards his knuckles.
Yeah.
So he's holding that knife like this. Does he swing? He swings the back of the knife at him.
Backwards. Oh
That
my god.
is. Oh wait, it looks like it's
Now,
swapped around after.
that very well may be a reference, because there are several kills in Friday movies where Jason cut someone with the back of his
There are
machete, which
several
is a
movies
mistake
where he's
on the
using-
movie making part.
There's
But
several movies where he's using
that
the
could
back
be
of
a
it the whole
reference.
time. Now, if you look there, he swapped it around. He swapped it around there. So I think it was just, I don't think it was a reference at all. Just because they have it swapped there. So the blade's pointing.
Like at the very least, I giving them the benefit of the doubt, it could be a reference, but
Could be. I honestly, I'm not bothered just because I know Jason. I know that he is the kind of moron to do this. The green screen blood's a
he
bit
would get
awkward.
away
and
with
he's
it
got
'cause
the he's got the
so
kind of
strong.
insane strength that he could do
Yeah.
that.
I guess that makes the next stump a bit more reasonable.
I can't look at
Yeah.
Michael's head above. That looks stupid.
That's why it's not such a clean cut, because he cut with the back of the fucking knife.
Okay, I can forgive that. I can forgive that. Because it might still be a mistake and a dumb choice to make it look like that, but as a
It's
Friday
all
fan,
coming together.
that's a Jason thing. That's a Jason thing. The green screen blood does kind of catch me off guard though. Like I use those effects myself sometimes because I'm cheap. But yeah, I like the persistent
Oh.
blood. Wait, is the corpse of the other guy still around in this area? I don't think there's any shots where you'd be able to tell.
His fucking
where does
ear
he-
clipping
is he
into his
just-
neck.
Is he just next to the tombstone still? Like, does he ever move? Oh, he's just there. Okay.
Yeah,
Where's
he
Michael
should be
even
on the
get
other side of that
Oh,
tombstone.
there it is. It's just
Where
there.
is the
I think
tombstone?
it's a different tombstone that he picks up and hits
Yeah,
him with.
he can't be hitting him with the same tombstone because that
It's just
tombstone
a
was behind him.
regular tombstone. Just a
Where
random
is that
one laying
guy?
on the ground.
That guy's just gone,
I don't
and
even-
so's the tombstone.
I don't think he even uproots it. He just
He just
like
picks it up.
pulls a random. There's just a random tombstone on the ground.
It's like a
look,
fucking.
It's just laying on
It's
the
like a
ground. I'm pretty
fucking
sure.
random drop in a game.
Yeah. It's like he's playing a beat 'em up and he just found a power up.
The gyrating of Jason there is so funny to me.
I like the eyes though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think this. Does this model have eyes originally? I'm pretty sure it does.
Probably.
Pretty sure the
We never see
model
Michael's
in the
eyes.
game.
I don't think.
Both of these characters pretty much always have eyes. We just don't usually
Oh,
see
well, yeah.
Jason's until his mask comes off.
But I'm wondering if like, does the model have eyes or did they add those in?
Given the fact that there's like
I
big
don't
black
know.
cavities, I think either is possible. It's funny because like
This is
when
like
rewatching this, I
the-
don't really feel compelled to rewatch a lot of the middle.
Mhm.
Yeah, mostly beginning and end.
Honestly, even the beginning, I'm not a huge fan. Like this, I'm a huge fan of. I think it could be better, but I think it's fine. Is this part that doesn't feel right? Right?
Yeah, I mean, like, this fucking, like, close quarters combat, fucking military fighting feels kind of weird for these two.
Yeah.
Okay, so this Jason.
Like, it looks
does-
good, I just don't know that I can picture Michael or Jason doing this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like maybe in the
it's-
comics, but the thing is, the comics don't move, so you can picture how Jason is moving between the panels yourself, right?
Yeah.
But in the actual movies and the games and even Mortal Kombat X, Jason is very stilted in everything he does.
Tilted and
Right.
slow.
So like with Jason, this sudden turnaround swing and like the epic anime effect as Michael blocks the attack. Like Michael blocking an attack coming at him feels wrong.
That's
then
kind of weird. This
the
is
thrust
part
kick of
3
all
Jason
things.
Model.
The thrust kick gets me. Like he's a fucking MMA fighter. That one swing from Jason's probably fine. When they
No,
get
it's
to the
weird.
tree,
This model's not even zombie Jason. It's part 3.
yeah.
No, that doesn't really matter because it's just general. But I just thought that was
Yeah.
neat, weird.
The whole tree bit's cool, and I
no.
appreciate they made sure to make it so the knife very clearly isn't fully in Jason and very clearly could not be pinning him to that tree.
It just looks
Yeah.
funny.
That is
And Michael's like,
vintage
"What are you looking at?"
Halloween.
Does
the
Michael
fuck?
give the head tilt here, or does he just fucking stare at him and then turn to look at the
Nah,
guy?
he-
I guess
he-
he tilts his head as he turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Not,
does.
not as I would have
it while
liked the
he's
head
turning.
tilt, but it's alright.
Yeah, I would have liked a dedicated shot of him tilting his head as he pins him to the tree, but, you know.
Let's go, track star.
The fucking power walk here though from Michael. Let's watch this. So he's running through like Naruto, and then the power walk, the super fast.
like-
Yeah, and Michael's not far behind him.
He was right on him. And this kid's running like crazy. Boy.
He was walking around at the speed of sound.
I love that you can hear Michael breathing, by the way.
Oh yeah, I think the way they went for atmosphere was cool.
Oh yeah, that's probably the best part of the fight, honestly.
Yeah.
Just
It's-
the setting itself.
I like funny because like I like basically the whole ending aside from the Jason like anime catching the axe and the tombstone, but like the whole ending's cool aside from that. And it's the part that feels
Yeah, how he
the
just
most
catches
like
the
it.
axe and like flicks it into a stone. Just like I can't really even tell if he like how he throws that. It looks like he just grabs it and then it like Mjolnirs itself into a rock.
Just kind of.
This is just so
chucks
non-Jason
it.
to me. Just the imagery of him catching someone else's attack.
Yeah, like the way that it spins,
Oh, it
it
goes
makes
through
it
his
seem
face.
It clips through his
It
face.
clips through his face.
the way that it spins and the way that it goes and lodges itself into the stone, it makes it seem like he would have like taken it and thrown it like an axe, but he just like fucking tosses it to the side.
That's how good of a marksman
Yeah.
he is.
Like tossing it like that should not make it do that.
He got the
Oh, buddy.
the archery skills of Reboot Jason.
Here's his tombstone I found.
Look at the stone that I just found.
I was thinking of the not Pokemon move Tombstoner.
They should totally make
Michael,
that
use
into a move.
Tombstone.
They should eventually make that into a proper move. I think that'd be funny.
I just love that it's like it was a quiz answer in Gen 1. It's just like I want that to be real.
Give me that TM.
I guess he couldn't get ahead of the axe.
Yeah.
You just straight up dooryard that head.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm done. Just walks away.
I mean, that is
You're like-
super Jason.
Yeah, I think this shot like holds a little longer than it needs to.
Yeah.
I just really like the music and just walking off. You can even hear like
Yeah, the
wolves.
atmosphere is cool, but like I don't need to see him keep going and going and going.
Okay.
Most dangerous thing in the woods is him.
Can't be too careful with these guys. Michael Myers won't
Yeah.
be rising from the grave this time. Jason
I like the
You sure?
implication.
The stories make
The implication that
slashers
the
as
killer
unstoppable,
in this
but they
episode's
do have
analyses
limits,
is
and
like I already knew he was gonna go for
understood.
Jocelyn.
To Michael's
What I
credit,
never knew is that he was gonna grab this Nintendo Switch. So he's like an epic gamer.
and both could
Yeah.
totally teleport.
The Switch was just missing.
Both of them really could
That's great.
teleport, then neither had an advantage in that regard.
Eh.
So teleportation deniers can rest easy knowing it wasn't
Tombstoner.
here. Jason was just as strong and vicious as Michael.
The fucking
if not
supernatural
more.
Leatherface
Given
gets me
the
because I don't think he's
difference in
supernatural
survivability, he had
in
a
that
much
comic.
better chance of striking Michael down first.
Is Leatherface ever supernatural outside of like I guess probably Dead by Daylight?
Leatherface with
I'm
his
trying to
magic
remember.
crystals.
I wouldn't be surprised if I'm forgetting like a film or part of a film where Leatherface is somewhat supernatural. Maybe just that he's really
Also-
strong.
Did they even mention anything from Dead by Daylight for this? Because it was in the recommended media list.
I don't think so.
Jason Voorhees.
I think the most they did was show clips from it. They didn't mention it.
Yeah. Was that the Dead by Daylight model for Michael?
Guys, I want to know who played Jason and Michael. And yeah, that was the Dead by Daylight model. Oh man, nobody. The Pamela voice actor was really good though.
Yeah, I think she did good.
Yeah.
For a few lines. So, but their names were Alex and Sam?
Yes.
I think they're
Alex
like
was-
established characters from
yeah.
the game.
All the characters in the games have names.
But you can always get more death metal right now.
I'm gonna assume that was. I can look it up actually to be.
I still think the
See
name
if
of the
that's
track is
their
dumb
name.
though.
The battle music linked down below.
Thank God
Yeah.
it's Halloween.
Like I know people were thinking,
I'm excited for this next one.
I remember like people saying like, oh, the characters like the silly Halloween movie, silly Friday movie. It kind of fits the silly horror vibe, but like that's not what I like about them, especially in Michael's case.
Yeah.
Anyway, this,
The
this-
goofiest Halloween movies tend to just be the worst ones.
Just so y'all know, there is not an Alex or a Sam in the Friday 13th game. This thing is a liar.
Are there any?
Are they from Dead by Daylight?
Yeah.
Well, the models certainly aren't. I know they're from Friday 13th.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're 100%. I remember that girl because my brother played as her all the time, and that sweater is very annoying.
Oh yeah,
It just stuns Jason for like a minute.
Sauron is one of the oldest characters Death Battle have ever used.
Pretty old guy. I want him to be a big eyeball.
1939, I believe. Also,
want
he's not a big eyeball. The Eye of Sauron does not exist in that way in the book.
I know, but I just like the big eye. I want him to lose his contact halfway through the fight and be like, oh, nobody move. Nobody move.
He's like, oh shit, I can't see.
If I lose this, my mom's gonna kill me. Where is it?
Just Arthur's looking up like, you are a
This
giant
is really
eyeball.
expensive.
How can you not see anything?
What the
I'm
fuck?
looking
I look
for
up.
laser, man.
I looked up Sauron, and on Sauron's Wikipedia page, this illustration is just of like a vague, shadowy figure looming over a mountain.
Yeah.
But it's like watercolored.
Yeah, that is the only art that was ever done of him by Tolkien. Because like the whole point was that Sauron doesn't have like a form that like is just definite, right? Because he's evil. Evil doesn't have a single form.
It's gonna be sprats. Ain't
Also, I want to point out Arthas Menethil is technically a book character.
Is he?
it? So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not joking. He first appears in Warcraft
okay.
of Blood and Honor, which I think is a book from 2002. No,
Let me see
2000.
this.
2000.
Fictional character appears. Player stuff. Oh yeah, Patrick Sates voices him. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's Jiren. Best character.
Yeah, he's also Dio. First appearance. Yeah, Blood and Honor,
Yeah.
And
Chapter 5.
So Arthas is technically another novel character.
How about that?
It's crazy.
I will say, I am excited for this battle for a character from a series I have no involvement in other than the character of, like, I love Arthas Menethil and I love the lore of the Lich King. Other than that, could not give a fuck about Warcraft. I'm sure it's cool, I just don't know anything about
I
it.
used to play World of Warcraft before it got too expensive for me to keep playing. It's a great game. World of Warcraft is at least it was. This was like over a decade ago, I think.
Most
when
I
played
know
it, but
about
it was really good.
the most I know about WoW is the South Park episode, the Lich King, and that one blood virus that happened because that was hilarious.
Well, even by saying WoW, you'd technically be wrong, because that's World of Warcraft. Warcraft itself is a bigger verse than just WoW.
Right, nerd.
It is
Like, his
interesting.
first game appearance, for example, is Warcraft 3.
It is interesting. They do say Lord of the Rings versus World of Warcraft, but that's wrong on both accounts. Technically, it's Middle Earth
Yeah.
versus Warcraft, and neither of them first appeared in Lord of the Rings or World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
All I know is Soft's going to be happy because he's a Lord of the Rings nut.
I love Lord of the Rings. This is one of my favorite franchises Death Battle have ever used.
Got
Even though
another thing you two could talk about.
Even though they technically haven't used it yet, but I'm very, very excited for Sauron.
So who's winning this, and is it going to be an army battle?
I don't
I
know,
like
actually,
armies.
because I think with Sauron, like, I know there are universal arguments. I don't necessarily buy them, but I think you could still argue, like, upscaling from, like, star level and stuff with Ungoliant eating the fruits that created the sun and all that.
I mean, if
Gandalf's
that's the case,
ropey.
I think he just kind of, like, blatantly beats the Lich King. I don't think the Lich King is
No,
that powerful.
There's universal scaling in Warcraft for characters significantly weaker than the Lich King.
Is there?
Yeah. Which is interesting. So if you use the high ends for both, I think Lich King safely wins. I think you could probably argue both at multi-continental.
The fact that I don't really care who wins, I like both these guys, and the fact that I have no idea who wins, and seemingly no one really has a concrete idea yet, makes this more exciting than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's gonna
At the
win.
very least, I have to imagine Sauron's faster.
I'm not sure on that either. Because
Jesus.
the big feat that I can recall is you could argue Ancalagon the Black, and I forget the name of it. There was a ship that was fighting him in space. They were like flying through space while they were fighting, but it's very vague as to like how long that fight was. Because Ancalagon the Black and the guy who was fighting in the ship, who's an elf, are feasibly like physically immortal, So that battle could have been going on for billions of years, and it wouldn't change the context of the story, I think. Because they just lived that long. But yeah, I don't know. I do not know.
It's gonna be an army fight,
I'm hopeful. They're both necromancers.
so
Right.
probably sprites and whatnot. Yeah, I would expect that anyway. What else would they do? And drawn. That would be
Frights would be strange because I guess it wouldn't be that strange. They've done plenty of the like examples of this before, but to my knowledge, I don't think either character has ever been done in sprites.
I mean, they've used a bunch of original ones before. They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Let's see.
I think Sauron.
Heck, if they get the guy who made the SpongeBob ones, they should be fine.
Origin the PogChamp, yeah. Sauron has sprites. He's got a mutant character. I've used them even in a few videos. Lich King, I
I
think.
mean, I was referring more so as like official like representation of them
officially,
of
no.
like.
No. Sauron officially has the 3D model from the Shadow of Mordor and whatever Mordor, those games that I still haven't played. And those games have a model both for Sauron in the armor and the Elvish Sauron from the Silmarillion and so on.
Yeah.
And Arthur's also is mostly 3D model. I'm really hoping, because apparently this episode was solo animated by Devil Artemis, which you can kind of tell. I'm really hoping that they do this one 3D with the other parts of the team.
Yeah,
Possible.
for characters like this, I guess I could imagine. I think it would only make sense for it to be 3D.
Well, because I've never seen either of them officially in, like, not 3D. The most I can think is the Bashki movie has rotoscoped Sauron as a shadow. That's it.
Yeah, and then, like, I guess illustrations for Arthas, and I'm sure some trailer has had, like, slightly moving illustrations for him.
But by and large, they're either text or they're 3D. And text is not going to be a very interesting fight.
Yep,
right.
We're going to get some AI dungeon looking stuff in here.
Because I'm pretty sure every time we see
read it.
Sauron on screen, it's the Peter Jackson films where he's just he's a big metal guy who swings his mace kind of clumsily. Peter Jackson Hobbit films where you see him briefly as the necromancer. Because, you know, he really loves necks. You got the Lego Lord of the Rings and Lego The Hobbit, which is just the same as the Jackson films. And you got the video games of Mordor, whatever, where he's a boss, and obviously he's in 3D. And with the Lich King, I think it's really just Wrath of the Lich King and the new sort of expansion or whatever the revival thing they're doing that I keep getting ads for on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Upside to this being next another one, now we're blind for the rest of the season.
Yeah, can't wait to get Whitebeard versus Escanor next episode after this. Whitebeard versus the guy with the most pedophilic mustache I've ever seen in my life.
I can't wait for Galactus and Unicron like 5 years too late.
I really do not like Escanor's design. I've said this before. He looks so nonce-coded to me.
Is that the really buff guy from Seven Deadly Sins?
I've never seen Seven. Maybe it's something that I would like. I don't know. It's just that Escanor has that too muscular and not muscular enough vibe going on with him.
So it is that guy from Seven Deadly Sins. I've seen him, and
I think he looks fine when he's in like the big golden armor. His head's still way too small for me.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest, I just don't like the art style of Seven Deadly Sins very much. I just don't like how most characters look.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like, I guess Whitebeard also has a very small head for his body, but I like his design.
Cool.
Like, I like his design because it has this energy to it, right?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Whitebeard's just super cool.
When I look at him, right?
Well, you've also got the fact that Whitebeard is like 21'10". He is taller than the average like full-grown male giraffe.
Yeah.
He is a giant.
I
He
think
is 666 centimeters tall.
one thing that carries it is that when I look at his design, I can tell stuff about his character. Like, you've got the pirate motif, obviously. You can tell he's definitely a pirate. He's got all those scars on his body. You can tell he's old. You know, he's gone through a lot of shit. He's got, like, the Admiral-esque jacket going on, so you can tell he's quite high-ranking, at the very least. So with, like, basically no context on the character, you can tell something about him based purely on the design of him.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, he's always got
white
that big, confident
mustache.
smile on him. So he's always...
I know, like-
every render of him is smiling. So you can tell he's very confident. He's got that Giga Chad energy. Escanor, I can't tell shit from his design. Because it's literally
Would you be able to tell? Okay, so the main group of characters in Seven Deadly Sins are called the Seven Deadly Sins. Each of them embodies a sin. Escanor's pride, which maybe you could surmise by looking at him, but he just kind of looks like a big dude. I guess I'd probably be prideful if I was like that swole, but
Yeah, I would have assumed Wrath, given the mass of him.
right.
He is a big boy.
I guess the expression could give away pride, but my problem is that aside from the pedo stash, his design is so unremarkable. He's got, like, the bottom half of him looks like it belongs to a different character. It's just
Yeah,
Well,
pants.
to be fair, at least
Top
at
heavy.
night, Escanor is just a normal-sized dude. Like, he's
Is
just
he?
a fucking regular-ass guy.
Huh.
I'm
Yeah, Escanor's power is that he draws strength from the sun. So like at like the very dead of night, like midnight, he will just be this scrawny ass little dude, and he's a poet. And then I think at noon is when he's strongest, and he's like fucking like 30 feet tall and like covered in flames, and is this big hulking monster. And like depending on how high the sun is in the sky, he gets more power, and he has like flames and super strength and shit like that.
Okay, actually, the skinny Escanor's design's better. Because the glasses and the way they're consistently drawn sort of solid, and the posture he tends to have, it tells me that he's a real posh dickhead. Poet, I can fucking tell from that.
Yep.
a lot of pride.
That's about right.
Escanor, like, big, just kind of looks like All Might without the character.
Yeah, my biggest like gripe with Seven Deadly Sins, other than I just don't like how it looks, is when I have to deal with a fucking constantly perverted character in anime and manga. It's usually either like not the main character or just like a side character that you only see every now and then. Like when it's Sanji, like he's part of the main cast, but he's like I don't have to see him doing that constantly, and he also does other shit. And like it's not to say Meliodas doesn't do other shit, but Meliodas is the main character.
That's how you pronounce
I
it?
like Roshi and Jiraiya. I hate
At least
Minato,
Roshi's
though.
cool and
Minato-
Jiraiya's cool.
Jiraiya's
I hate
got a
Minato,
lot
though.
of
That
personality.
little shit can go to hell.
Jiraiya's got, like...
Yeah,
The perversion adds to it, I think, because everything about Jiraiya is dialed up to 11.
I still love, like, I am not a little pervert. Well, what are you? I'm a big one.
Like,
I
that,
love the
that
twiddling
encapsulates
fingers, just,
Jiraiya.
I'm a big one.
Jiraiya is excessive in everything he does, and he's completely aware of that fact.
Yeah, and again,
Yeah, Meliodas is
from
much
My
farther
Hero.
from Jiraiya and Roshin perviness, I'd say, and much closer to Mineta of just actively being a fucking creep
no.
wherever we can.
I don't like
Creepy
that.
and
Like,
annoying, and I
there's
hate
a scene. There's a scene where someone is just laid out unconscious across the table, and Meliodas is like, "Ooh," and he just comes up and just fucking squeezes her breast.
Don't do that.
See,
And I'm
normally,
like, my guy.
normally in anime, that would be followed up by the woman doing something excessively violent in response.
Well, no, she's into him.
You know, it was like another not pervy character, but someone obsessed with.
So do
the
they
opposite
like
sex.
openly have a
Brock.
relationship where
Oh,
they're both
Brock.
okay with that?
If they do in later seasons, then yes. But at least as far as I got, it's just she likes him and he likes her boobs, and that's like the extent. Or like he will lift, like I think sometimes he'll lift her skirt and like look at her panties.
I like you. I like your boobs. Yeah.
Jesus
Let's talk
Christ.
about how. Let's talk about how Brock is a good character from Pokemon, and he's obsessed with women, but it's not his whole character. You know, he's pretty.
It's not his whole character, but it's a pretty big part of it. His other parts.
It is a
being,
large part.
It's hard to
being
get through,
cooking
like,
and exposition.
it happens a lot in the
Yeah.
earlier seasons. Where, like, every
Oh, yeah.
episode he'll hit on some random woman.
And then just
He hits on women.
fearful.
He provides food for the group, Pokemon people, like, and he gives exposition whenever there's a battle going
He's
on.
clearly
They're
the
like,
most
"Oh, Brock,
intelligent
what's
person."
happening?" And he's like, "Well, good thing I'm a battle expert."
He's also,
Brock, what's
he also
happening?
uses
Well,
his
you
frying
fucking moron.
pan as a drying pan.
Ah, legendary. If Brock ever gets on Death Battle, we need that. He's not going to get on
That's
Death
the
Battle.
worst part. That's the worst part, though. The YouTube clip of the frying pan, drying pan, it cuts off before he says pan again. I'm using my frying pan as a drying...
That's...
As a what? It's dumb.
If Brock ever gets on
Hey.
Death Battle, he needs to use his frying pan as a dying pan.
I'm still shocked
He just
that
smacked
Brock...
someone with a frying pan.
Hey, it would work.
Yeah.
You hit someone, anyone enough with a frying pan, they're going down.
I still think it's weird that Brock and Kaiba are voiced by the same guy.
That just goes to show you,
Yeah.
Eric
My
Stewart's
biggest
incredible
worry
range.
with Brock would be like, they're like, oh, and Brock has a Steelix, and a Steelix in like this Pokemon Adventures manga was able to contend with this, and thus scales to like Universal or whatever. Like, I worry because they composite Pokemon a lot, which I understand that's just common practice in the versus scene. I don't care for it much, because then you'll get shit like, well, Dawn has a Mamoswine in the anime that was a Swinub, and this other Swinub that Price had in the manga was able to fight a Palkia. So,
I mean, how would that even scale? Everyone knows Swinub is stronger anyway.
He's adorable, too.
Swinub is
Yeah.
like a top tier in Pokemon, you know, you don't just scale
Way
to
better
Swinub.
looking than Ambipom.
hey, don't talk shit about Ambipom.
Apom, fine. Ambipom, ugly.
It's rude.
I don't care.
If you want to talk shit about a Gen 4 unnecessary evolution, shit about it right here.
The hell was that?
Everything did
I
that.
did not get a word of that.
Where it cuts off.
Well, I'll never know which Gen 4 evolution he was
Rhyperior.
talking about.
Rhyperior.
Yeah, Rhyperior does suck with his Tim the Toolman tool
You know
belt.
what's most upsetting is that his name's basically Rhydon Superior.
It does not fit.
And
I'd rather
he
use an
could not
Eviol
be
like.
less.
I like Magmortar.
Yeah, Magmortar's neat.
He's
I don't know why they
literally
decided
a
to change his beak into lit.
And then there's Electivire, pretty cool guy.
Yep. All right, we've
Like,
we've comfortably done
yeah.
the thing where we've gone way off topic.
Yeah.
Yup.
Okay. Jason's a cool guy. Michael, he's cool too, I guess.
Michael's cool. I like both of them well enough.
I do. They're both great. I like both movies, although I think I enjoy
Michael's
more.
my favorite horror movie
Friday
character.
movie.
Also quite good.
You know, I feel kind of off saying that, like, I wish the fight was longer, because like apparently Devil Artemis has been going through some shit lately. I don't know when this was animated, but if it was really
The
like,
length is perfectly fine.
yep, you cut off again.
That keeps happening.
Alright, hold on.
Isn't this kind of like Scout and Tracer, where like, you know, Dorian was going through some stuff?
Yeah,
It's like
like
the animation's
I
still
guess-
kind of bad, man. I'm not going to just ignore it.
the only problem I
Scout
had
stands there and does nothing.
with the fight's length is
Yeah,
it's not that it's like just because it's the runtime short, but because I feel like more needed to be done to really sell everything that went on.
Maybe don't.
Yeah,
spend 30
I don't even wish the
seconds
animation was
on
that much
Black
longer. I wish it
Bear.
just focused on the fight.
Or at least that it focused less on the randos.
Yeah,
what
like
was it?
randos are cool and all,
Simon.
but if I need to see these guys kill characters, like they've got 12 and 13 movies respectively of nothing but that. So
Yeah, I think I would have, because like everyone wanted like randoms dying in the fight, but what people wanted was them dying, like multiple dying over the course of it, just as a side element to the fight. Like, because the way
yeah,
Jason and Michael are, it would be super in character for them to, while focused on killing this other guy, hey, there's someone I can just kill now. Pop his head like a zit.
it's like it's an interesting approach to have them both chasing a guy throughout the duration of the fight, but it's kind of the same issue that I take with Freddy versus Jason as a movie, is that they spend a fair chunk of time just focusing on like the side characters and them like trying to survive or just getting murdered en masse and that kind of stuff. While that's cool, these characters both already have plenty of movies covering that stuff. What I've come for is the crossover that I don't get in any other thing.
Yeah. I think what bothers me really about that is that the characters in that movie are just kind of not fun to watch at all.
Yeah, they're very boring.
Like,
There's
if they
the
were more
nerd, the
compelling,
stoner, the cop.
because like I get why they're there, because the actual way they cross the two over is very clever.
There's the black girl
It is
that says
probably the
Freddy has a
cleverest-
small penis.
Cleverest thing in that movie, if we're being frank. But like, because it focuses so much on them and they're not entertaining and they don't really link to the two killers very well.
You know what I appreciate about this fight? They didn't bring up Jason being weak to water, because that's stupid.
Yeah. I think, now that I think about it, it would have been nice if they brought up the time Jason killed someone by cutting his head off so precisely that his head remained on his body until someone else tapped his shoulder and it flew off.
It just popped off.
That would have been a good argument to counteract the precision of Michael
One of the
Myers.
most impressive kills for me is we find later that like somebody that Michael has chopped the head off of has like a flashlight stuck up in the head and is hollowed out like a jack-o'-lantern. How did Michael hollow out a head like that?
He
Is that
just
from
did.
2018? I think it is.
That's from Kills.
Okay, yeah. I knew it was one of the reboots.
He just did it.
I felt like it. I feel festive.
Yeah.
I have a sense of humor.
I feel like there are gonna be. I'm expecting at least some complaints are gonna be completely stupid. Like I can feel someone saying,
Yeah, like,
"Why
oh,
didn't-"
Michael should have won.
Not that. That's every episode has that. I'm thinking like someone's gonna go, "Why didn't Jason turn into Uber Jason?" It's
Oh
like,
my God,
that's
that
not
would've
how
been
that
dumb.
works, motherfucker.
What if one of the randos was a scientist carrying nanomachines and they just get killed mid-fight and
Nah,
they drop
what
him
happens
and
is
Jason's
Michael
like, "Come
pulls
to
up-
me."
Michael pulls up the tombstone of a nanomachine expert and hits Jason over the head with it. And it
People made enough jokes about this fight of them breaking into a rap battle. I'm like, they don't talk, do they? I
think
really
that
hope they don't
that
talk.
was a reference to Freddy versus Wolverine, right? Jason can't talk and he
I
rots
don't
like
know.
better.
It's
That whole thing.
freaking. I talk. Even though people keep trying to use them in battles. Good job, everybody.
You're one to.
None of you have gotten a decently accurate voice yet, and when I say accurate, I mean fitting. To be fair, I used Michael, but I think my voice was okay for him. He's just a dude.
Yeah, I mean, there can't be a super like you want to be accurate. The only time Jason or himself has ever talked is at the end of Takes Manhattan when he has a child's voice going, "Mama."
Yeah. I never like whenever Leatherface is used in a rap battle and he sounds like a grumpy old hick, and I'm like, dude, we've heard that guy's voice. He sounds like a 5-year-old. It's like, "Ah!" He sounds like a girl.
I think the deepest his voice has been is when he's going, like he's fucking Chewbacca.
Yeah. He's not like down here. He's not like he is not. His voice is not intimidating. You're intimidated by the noise that he's
why would
carrying
you
around
use
with him.
I mean, I think that taking liberties for the sake of like actually making it compelling, because like if you're gonna use Leatherface, obviously I don't think using a super fucking squealy voice like that would just be very fun to listen to.
Oh, maybe.
I wouldn't use.
Like I think taking liberties to the extent that it.
I would use the whole family.
Taking liberties to the extent that it still thematically kind of makes sense, and that it just provides a better listening experience. Because at the end of the day, it's still a song. I think it's fine. I think it's
I
viable. It
would
doesn't
just
hurt
use-
the
I
experience
would
too
just use
much.
the family in general, not Leatherface specifically. Like, the family are the scary part of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not specifically Leatherface.
He's just a part of it.
Yeah. Also, do you guys know that...
Horror gets used a lot in Red
Oh, I
Battles.
think Ty knows, because I told him. Kane Hodder played
Maybe.
Jason Voorhees, Leatherface, and Freddy Krueger at different points in time.
When did Kane Hodder play Freddy Krueger?
So, at the end of, I forgot which one it was now. Goes to Hell or whatever. When Freddy's hand shows up, that's Kane Hodder's hand.
Oh.
When it drags, like, the mask
Really?
into Hell. That's Kane Hodder's hand. So, Kane Hodder, I think, is the only person to play all three of those.
He only needed one more, and he would have a Sunday.
Gotta play, Michael Myers at some point as a stunt actor for him.
Yeah.
There's
Set
also
yourself on fire. That's usually pretty good.
there's Tom Morga who played Jason, Michael, and Leatherface.
Yeah.
When are we going to get Santa Sleighs in Death Battle?
When we get Santa Claus versus Krampus.
We're going to get Santa Sleigh versus that new Die Hard movie with Santa in it. Violent Night.
When are we just gonna
That's what
get
it's called.
Santa versus fucking
Easter Bunny!
versus John?
Give us Santa Claus.
Easter Bunny!
Actually, maybe Santa Claus wouldn't be the most appropriate to use given his origin.
Maybe not.
John McClane versus Chris Kringle.
He's gonna fucking power scale
Go to the club, have a
Saint
few
Nicholas of
drinks.
Mira.
Yeah.
Have their lives.
Man, like, it's sad that that's not even the last and probably not the first instance of a saint being turned into a strange magical holiday creature.
Oh boy.
Probably not, no.
St. Patrick is
Children
not and never has been a leprechaun.
Would you
Keep your hands
include,
off me gold!
would you include the legends of Sinterklaas in Santa Claus?
But like the German origins?
Yeah,
One where he
think he's
gives
technically,
guns to children in their shoes.
Dutch or something like that, but yeah. Like the figure of
I'll
Sinterklaas.
shoot your eye out, kid.
I don't know.
Because like
I'm not a fucking.
he's different.
I'm not a
He
Santa
actually-
Claus historian.
Sinterklaas doesn't ride
Me
a
neither.
sleigh. Like he rides a fucking he rides a white horse. Like he's pestilence or something, or conquest.
Oh,
Pestilence or
Christ.
conquest. I remember.
I am bringing you death and presents. Oh, boy. Death and presents. Well, I really like presents, but I don't like death all that much.
I'm actually kind of trying to see like, is there a list
Like
of
a
saints who have been
50-50.
turned into like figures like that? Well, you can't start with Saint Valentine. That's not how that works. That's not what I'm looking for.
Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. You know what? Frick-a-frack. Am I the only one who doesn't like this new age of viral horror right now? Like, I don't very much care
I'm
for
super
it.
involved with it, but I don't dislike it. I think every kind of horror has a place to exist, and I think like anything that keeps the
I like-
genre of horror alive is fine.
I like the ones that have effort put into them in the good way. I don't like the ones that prey on children to sell merchandise.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not a big fan of like modern viral horror video games like Bobby's Playtime or like a fucking Piggy whatever shit or like Granny.
Yeah.
Like games that are explicitly made to sell toys and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Because at that point, that's kind of just taking horror
Yeah.
and just getting rid of the horror part.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Thanks, FNAF. You started a trend. You were one of the good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I really. Not
Yeah, the
paying
FNAF
attention.
movie's still a thing. We were talking about viral horror, and I'm talking about how it's sometimes it's
No,
good,
like I've never
sometimes
paying
it
attention
sucks.
to viral horror in general.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't blame you. Hey, FNAF's getting a movie. I almost forgot about that.
You know what's strange? I really don't know what Biff is going to give Jason Michael as a.
I talked to him about it. He said it was like a 6 or 7 without rewatching it,
Yeah, well, because like
based on the analysis alone.
what I was
That
thinking
is rough.
with how Biff is, it's either going to be very highly rated because it focused on story and atmosphere, or very lowly rated because if that doesn't work for him, he's not going to get anything out of this fight. Like, he's not going to get anything out of it. So it really depends on how.
Yeah,
well
I
it
mean,
works
like
for him.
talking to him, at least he's like the animation or the animation's not all that interesting, but the analysis is very well done, and the analysis alone carries it to a high 6,
Yeah,
low
I
7.
think the analysis was really good. I think the fight had some really, really good shots, ideas, and like subtleties. The actual fighting wasn't the best, but a lot of the
telling me
character moments that
Tombstone?
focus on Jason and Michael are really well done. But I also feel like, see, because I don't want to say it's too short. I want to say that what it does with its runtime isn't focused enough. It's not concise. Like,
At least we got Tombstoner.
we did not need that entire scene where the guy runs away and then Michael hits him with the axe and then he keeps running and he gets into the car and then blah blah blah. Like, that all could have been cut, more or less. You could have had Jason stop Michael from hitting him with the axe and then use the extra runtime to fit in more Jason versus Michael.
Yeah.
I'm also imagining there's going to be someone who's going to be complaining that Jason didn't enter his fire form in this fight.
Oh boy.
Which, to be fair, would have been
Probably.
awesome, but no, we don't need flaming Jason in the fight.
Where we didn't get the Jason worm from Goes to Hell. I'm steamed. I'm heated.
I
There's
admit,
going to be a lot of this should have been live action comments. I can
Yeah.
already tell.
yeah, I would have preferred it in live action, but I'm not gonna.
I think everyone would have, but
something I'm gonna complain
some
about.
people realize
Especially
limitations more than
Given
others.
what they actually did in the fight, I think live action would not have been that problematic if they did the same fight. Like, I guess the most
They have
difficult
done the head explosion on the tombstone.
That,
if they
that's
did it
the
in
part
live action.
they would have probably left out, is just that.
Man, I like that part though.
Yeah,
The
but
part's like the
the
What do you
atmosphere.
have
Like,
throwing a
honestly, like
tombstone
the
at him?
biggest praise
These guys
towards this
can't keep a
episode
silver
is for its
block in one piece.
analysis.
Yeah, I thought the analysis
think-
were great.
I think the analysis has a neat style to it, but again, like as much as I like that kind of campfire, like midnight society type of ghost story thing they were going for, it feels like it sacrificed a lot of the actual like analysis part, and it was like because it gave the basic rundown of their backstory, gave some of their abilities, and then like on the sidebar it listed like here are a couple of things they've done, here's a couple of the weapons they've used to kill people, but it didn't really go into depth about like how any of the abilities work or like to what degree they work. Like it compared explosions, it didn't calc those explosions, it compared teleportation but not general speed. I don't think they made much of a point to compare intelligence. Like they brought up that
Which is funny.
both
'cause
of
in
them
the
can
ending-
be
in the
deceptively
ending-
intelligent,
In the ending
but
comparison, they actually give Michael intelligence.
yeah, like, and that ending comparison does have like a bunch of bullets and stuff. It's like you're showing me all these bullets, but I would have liked to hear them talked about more. I would have liked to hear more of like the actual comparison and like analysis of these things rather than just seeing these things listed.
Oh, hold on. I just checked Twitter a few hours ago. Luis said that he's animating a few shots for the next death battle, but he's not using sprites, which makes me hopeful that it's going to be 3D, because I can't see it. How many sprite episodes recently have there been where Luis didn't animate a single shot with the actual sprites?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't. I can't think
It
of
was
it.
very specific. Oh,
But yeah.
I didn't know there'd be a test.
I am by no means a death battle behind the scenes aficionado.
I
Well,
didn't study.
fairly certain it's going to be 3D, and he's doing Blender work, because I think they do their
Oh, we
backgrounds
have
on Blender
2
now.
weeks to wait.
So, that gets me hopeful.
Yeah.
Because Blender is their big,
Wonder.
their
I'm
big
wondering
3D
what the
engine.
finale and whatnot is going to be.
Oh, might be that's
Could
gonna
be anything. Ooh. Could be anything.
I don't know.
I have to assume the finale will be something like Galactus Unicron or something like some other big scale, either Marvel, DC, or just will involve Marvel or DC. I can't
The last
like other
four,
than
the last 4 episodes having 3 3D episodes wouldn't feel right, and Galactus versus Unicron being anything but 3D would be wrong.
I don't think it would be impossible to imagine Galactus Unicron hand drawn,
I could see
especially considering like
Okay, my problem is that as a Transformer fan, whose only thing that he has any interest now with Galactus Unicron is a breathtaking Unicron transformation sequence, that doing it in hand drawn, they're never going to live up to the movie. And like that's
Right,
not a
but
slight
I mean,
towards
just
Death
like-
Battle. That's just a praise towards how breathtaking Unicron's transformation in the 86 or 85 movie is. 86.
like logically speaking, just from my perspective, I think like
What,
if
shop
they
animator?
didn't do it in 3D, the most likely I could imagine it's hand drawn because of the G1 cartoon and because Galactus has had plenty of appearances in hand drawn cartoons before.
Yeah, but like
Because like
Fantastic
Unicron's
Four
most
one where
famous
it's
appearance is
headshot
in
by
the
Ghost Rider.
G1 movie.
Yeah, but the thing there is that that's not just cheap hand drawn anime. That's like Toei going all in and pulling out there's no stops in that film. The animation is gorgeous.
I mean, we had a hand drawn finale last season, and Saitama Popeye looked pretty good. Not like Transformers the movie good, but still pretty good.
Yeah,
Transformers.
but that also changed art styles a lot, and I don't think you can really get away with that with Galactus Unicron. I think because they changed art styles a lot,
Right.
they could funnel more money into the hand drawn bits specifically because they were shorter than if it was the whole fight. Because it was only really the
It's just-
start of it, a bit of the middle, and then the ending was hand drawn. While
It's just-
the rest of the middle was sprites and Devil Artemis.
Let's
And
just be real, y'all. It's gonna be Joker Giorno, and you know it is.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I doubt it.
But I wouldn't be interested.
I wouldn't
I'm
be
gonna-
happy.
I'm gonna say I doubt it.
I don't see it happening. I could see Bowser
What
Eggman.
the?
Like if we're getting
That would be sick as hell.
if we're getting
I'd
a
love
sprite
that.
finale or hand drawn, which is likely, I could see Bowser Eggman happening.
Do that. Do that.
Yeah, I don't think that's impossible.
Do it.
I feel like Simone.
Yeah,
Kyle's
I'm gonna say that I
Simone.
strongly feel like it will not be Joker Giorno. I feel like that's not gonna happen this season. But I have pretty high faith that if it's going to happen, it's going to happen next season.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
see Simone Kyle happening. I know people are expecting that. Don't see it happening right now.
I wouldn't be mad. I like Gurren Lagann enough that just seeing it on the show would be cool as long as they don't
I'd be a
completely
bit
like
sad,
fucking butcher it.
because like as I've said, Bang Jang's a good friend of mine. He really wants Kyle Simone, but he won't be back to actually watch any episodes until this latter half of next year. Like,
I mean, at the very least, like the
like-
episode's still going to be around to watch. Like, not seeing it
'cause, like,
premiere sucks,
he-
but at the
he
same
wa-
time,
he-
like it
he
happening
wants-
at all is pretty
he
cool.
wants to be there to like be able to talk with people about like expectations, what's going to happen, what they're excited for. He wants to be part of the
Right.
debate. He wants to be part of the blog.
Yeah.
He wants to enjoy it when it's out without, because like I tell him what happens in episodes before they happen, right? Because he's interested, and it would either be a case of he's dying to know, but he doesn't want me to tell him, so he's just constantly got that in the back of his head, or I tell him and the episode's not as good when he actually watches it because he already knows what's going to happen.
Right.
The base Lantern W.
I don't even know who's gonna win. If they give Kyle if they give Kyle the life equation, it's kind of case shot and he wins. The end. There is no Gurren Lagann anymore. And I think
Yeah,
I was
like, I
gonna say
expect
there is
Kyle-
no God.
I expect Kyle would win, but I would like to see Simone win, not because I hate DC or whatever. I just like Gurren
a
Lagann.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would prefer
I-
seeing
I'm just-
Simone win because, having not seen the show,
I'm
just the shots of Super Topper Tengen Topper Super Duper Ultra Mega Super Topper Tengen Gurren Lagann. They're
Super
Yes.
Tengen Toppa Girl, my god.
Those shots are outstanding. And like I like Kyle,
Yeah,
but
like
I'd never seen a comic panel of Kyle that comes close to capturing
the shots of Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann in the second Gurren Lagann movie, just eclipsing universes, is so fucking rad.
Just him standing up and growing in size have more impact than
Because like all
Kyle
of those little
existing.
swirls you see around him, those are not galaxies; those are universes.
yeah, like, it's incredible, and I do want to watch the Gurren Lagann. I don't have time to watch anything.
Relatable.
If you do, Gurren Lagann's not all that long.
The only show I think I recently got around to watching in my spare time was Psyche K, because everything's episodic and there's basically no connection to the last episode. So I just it was easy to get in without needing to worry about the last episode, what happened, because it's because like the big emotional moment of Psyche K that has anything to do with past episodes has to do with the show as a whole and not any specific events.
Right.
But I feel like Gurren Lagann
versus...
is the one where I would need to remember what happened last episode, and it could be like weeks between when I actually get to watch episodes.
Better call Saul.
Oh yeah, I should say this video is being recorded on Bivweed's birthday.
Yeah.
So, happy birthday to him. This video is probably coming out the day after, but I'm gonna say I've already said happy birthday to him, but I'm gonna say it again. Happy birthday, Biffweed.
Happy birthday, man.
Good friend.
Amatoa Sands.
If you watched this far, put a hashtag Biffweed sweep in the comments.
Do it.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Can't.
Speaking of which, this video has gone on for about an hour and a half, which, frankly, at this point, I'm not surprised.
Well, at least we talked about Death Battle at the end.
Yeah, we stayed on topic a lot in terms of Death Battle, Friday the 13th, and Halloween.
Yeah, I mean the
More on topic than we usually do, at least.
And usually talked about horror a little bit, different types, but still.
Again, I need to rewatch the episode a few times before I do my review. I can change my opinion. I think the big examples of episodes that got better for me on rewatch this season, John Wick vs. James Bond, I thought was good when I watched it first, but I really loved it rewatching it. You know, even Trunk Silver, like I thought it was awesome first watch, and I loved it even more second watch.
I do really like that episode.
I really like Trunk Silver. It captures Dragon Ball action better than basically any episode. There are some that I think captured about as well. My mind currently goes straight to Kirby Boo. There are a lot of shots in that are so fast paced. Somehow that's a higher scale fight because Kirby fucking creates an explosion on the sun that's way bigger than the moon thing.
I was going back and watching some, just like watching back through season 1 of Death Battle and just seeing how surface level all of the research was is so funny to me.
It's great.
I love it when they use
like,
crossover comics as research and evidence.
Yeah, or like Smash, but it's also shit like they have like Dig Dug win because he has better control of going through the ground and on land as opposed to Bomberman who just has on land, and that's pretty much the whole argument. And I'm like, they even bring up a destruction feat for Dig Dug of being able to like sink islands, but then if you've like played a Bomberman game, you've probably seen him blow something up bigger than that.
Yeah.
Bomberman's strong. It's probably the most wrong Death Battle's ever been, but because it was so early, it makes sense.
Yeah. It's funny because Bomberman Dig Dug is one of the biggest stomps they've ever done because it's like Bomberman's a universal character, and
You
Dig
got
Dug's
it
like
wrong.
Dig Dug's multi-city block level at best with the island thing.
It's just
kind of
unfortunate, man.
Like I know
Or
everyone,
like,
they're pretty much doing a lot of episodes for like what's the worst stomp. You know, you got Flash, Quicksilver, Doctor Doom, Darth Vader, Omnilander for some reason, even though that's nowhere near as big a stomp as those.
Yeah. Like even like episode 3, I think Wonder Woman versus Rogue, like it I can see their logic and I can see the argument there if you haven't researched the characters, but like this is just based on my vague knowledge of the characters. I have to assume before Rogue could ever even like get in some sort of absorption or touch onto Wonder Woman could just fucking blitz and cut her head off.
I think it's actually the other way around, because like Rogue has showings that she is like genuinely Herald tier at this point. She could physically fight off Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman's not going to be affected by her touch. She's resisted that stuff before, so it's actually the other way around. And don't believe the atom cutting thing; that's total bullshit. But
Thank you.
The thing with that episode, it's wrong. Like its own logic is just wrong. Because they're like, oh, one touch from Wonder Woman, that's all Rogue's gonna need. But then they directly compare Wonder Woman to Juggernaut, who they said can resist the effects. So, Wonder Woman, one touch, she'd feel a little bit, resist it, and then realize maybe don't punch her skin, and then just lay into her.
I'm gonna go right for the gut.
Or like, I don't think Zangief versus Hagar is wrong, depending on what you use for both of them. Like, assuming you're using main continuity for both, I don't think Zangief Hagar is wrong. Obviously, their argument is based on a piece of fan art that is not canon. But I think it's interesting that if you use like Street Fighter EX and like Final Fight Streetwise, I think they both have supers that take you up into orbit and make like a big fucking country-size explosion.
I would love a remake of that.
I think,
honestly,
actually,
I know
I think
kind of a waste
country-sized
for an
explosion
episode, but I'd love
for
it.
Hagar is actually canon. Like that
A
game.
little more fighting game episodes.
While Zangief using canon stuff scales like city level with like the E Honda Meteor. So if you use canon stuff, I think Hagar wins. If you use all their stuff without crossing over, I think EX has like a solar system thing because it's so weirdly portrayed. And there's also like the Street Fighter manhwa where they're like characters like flying through space, like creating explosions like across the world. You can scale Zangief to that. He definitively beats Hagar. But then if you just look at their crossover, Hagar fucking like destroys Zangief. The one time they fight on panel, he annihilates him. Which is
Remember when Zangief broke a sword with his muscles? Times.
I remember when fucking M. Bison, or I guess Mike Bison, I should clarify, Balrog, fucking uses his punch, which allegedly can one-hit kill an elephant, and tries to punch Zangief, and Zangief just flexes his pecs hard enough to send him reeling back from it.
It's like the same like cutscene, I think.
Zangief's
maybe not the same exact, but it's in the same
flexes hard
area.
enough to counter an elephant-killing punch.
Yeah. He also just takes a sword to like the chest and then he flexes and it just shatters.
It's like it's not even bracing and just taking the hit. It is taking the hit and then flexing so hard it creates a gust of wind that knocks him away.
Muscle power. I love this man. Zangief's great.
Zangief's great, yeah.
Am I the only one who's sad we haven't gotten a fighting game episode this season? I like fighting game episodes, even if they're kind of nonsensical as hell.
I like fighting games in general.
I like fighting games. I'd like a fighting game episode this
It's not impossible. We still have an episode between Sauron, Lich King, and the finale, don't we?
For Liu Kang versus the protagonist of Killer Instinct. And no,
Jago.
I'm never going to say his name again. That is the joke.
Jago.
What?
Shadow
Jago. I
Jago.
said it wrong one time. And then there were people saying I was right, people saying I was wrong. Never got a solid answer how to pronounce it. At this point, I don't even care. I just call him the protagonist.
What did you call What? It's Jago.
The official pronunciation in the games is Jago.
Yeah, what did you call him?
I'm still going to call him the protagonist of Killer Instinct because I find that funnier. That's exactly the same terminology I used to talk about the protagonist of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it's like fair, like you pronounced that I think Jago in that video, which fair enough, that's how it's spelled, but it is pronounced canonically Jago, the same way that like being a Japanese clan in Mortal Kombat, it doesn't make sense it would be pronounced the Shirai Ryu, it would be the Shirai Ryu.
Yeah. Who says
we're here, Ryu?
Why use wrong anyway? In any context, hate it.
We will fight to the death.
You got your favorite famous characters: Ryu from Street Fighter, Strider, Hiryu from Strider. You got your Godzilla character.
Ryu Hayabusa.
Kiryu.
Yeah, Kiryu.
Both the mech and the
Ryuko
Yakuza
Matoi
character.
from Kill la Kill.
God, yeah, I want a fighting
Ryuga.
game episode. I don't know if you can make a fighting game
Ryuga's
episode
already,
that is
like,
left
pronounced
a
that way,
finale,
so that was
but
fine.
it could probably be a
Yeah, like I
penultimate
have to
episode.
imagine the next fighting game episode would be something like Liu Kang Jago. I can't think of anything else that would be super relevant to do right now.
I can't think of anything that would like justify being the finale at least, so it'd have to be the next one. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's plenty. I'm just not thinking of. I don't know. What about Guilty Gear? Yeah,
I
just
guess
do
maybe like
Ragna
Bison
and-
Rugal.
That'd
be fun.
Would be interesting.
Do Ragna and Soul, like redo that one.
Just do Jin.
That'd be
versus Kai.
cool.
I know there are people who are going to be being like, no, Nemesis, we gotta get Kai versus Saber. I would dip my balls in sulfuric acid before getting Fate on Death Battle. Give us Jin versus Kai. Like, for one thing, Kai very
honestly,
based, but also, I would be okay if Death Battle, like, actually give Jin the credit he deserves. Like, I joke about hating Jin a lot, because I'm in on the joke, but Jin isn't the worst character.
Yeah, no, not really. It's mainly just towards Ragna, him being like, brother, let's kill each other.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the
You
hate
little
for Jin
brat.
comes like
I'll deal with you later.
Like without context, like oh, he stabbed Ragnar for no reason. What an asshole! But like he was manipulated. But like, because a lot of people who know BlazBlue in the community know it from that one death battle. They don't have the context and they assume it just happened because he's a dick.
Because like by all means, Jin is regarded as a hero within his world.
Like Jin's
Can we
cool.
get?
I know he's nowhere near my favorite in BlazBlue. But he's
I was
not
gonna ask
bad.
about. I was gonna ask about Slayer versus Dimitri, but I guess
Ugh.
probably won't
You're not
happen
gonna get
because
full support. You're
Halloween.
not gonna get full support. In this chat. Let's go to a different match.
I just like Slayer. Okay.
I like Slayer too. I just don't like Slayer versus Dimitri.
Dimitri's a freaking pinhead, and I'm pretty sure he gets destroyed anyway.
Yeah. Dimitri, I think, loses all of his fights. I think Slayer wins all of his, probably.
Like, the issue is that not only is it a gigantic stomp against Dimitri, but also just within his games canonically, like, Slayer doesn't really ever get hit or lose, and the one time he does lose, like, people play it up as this big Saitama moment of finally I found a worthy opponent. Like, the one time he's actually put on the back foot by Bedman, he's like, oh shit, I don't want to lose to this fucking guy.
It's also like more a testament to Bedman's strength, and even then, it wasn't because Bedman was physically a match for Slayer. It's that Bedman's powers are so intense that even Slayer's like brute might isn't able to get through it.
Like, Slayer by no means is looking for like the best fight of his life. He just likes to beat the shit out of people.
I do like the idea.
But he's looking for a good fight, but he's not looking for like, finally, this is the fight I've waited for. I can die fighting a worthy opponent.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
He's just an ass.
I don't dislike the idea that he like drops his guard and like makes fun of Dimitri being like a weak vampire, and Dimitri manages to drink his blood and get a huge power boost, and then Slayer's like, "Oh shit, I didn't want that. No, hold on," and he's like actually like annoyed by it. He doesn't like it.
Listen here, you little shit.
Despite how much people would want Slayer to be like, yes, a good fight. I prefer him being like, no,
not only do I like Darkstalkers more than Guilty Gear and just not want to see Dimitri get his shit pushed in that hard, also, I just don't think it would fit Slayer very well to be evenly matched like that. I don't think Slayer belongs in a death battle.
Oh, I got Spinal versus Cervantes.
I remember I didn't dislike Slayer Rachel Alucard as a concept because they're both the characters who don't really get any close fights. Like, they're way above everyone, and whenever someone's stronger, they're either not around to deal with them or they're not a fan of it. Like, I remember liking that as a concept, Slayer Rachel.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I think it'd be interesting at least.
Good as a DBX, like where no matter who wins, it's clear that one of them just got bored of the fight because like they don't like being evenly matched. They don't like it, and they've been kind of.
Can you imagine it ends in a draw because they're both like, "You're too strong. Fuck this."
Yeah, that would be great. Because like
I
both of
wanna
their losing
fight.
sprites, I think of them just like still being there. They're just pretending to be down or something. Or at least with Slayer, it is. Slayer's doing like a paint me like one of your French girls poses.
Yeah, I mean, Slayer's like lose animation is him just like, "Yep, good job," and he leaves.
Literally in the fucking the end when you beat him in Xrd and you see your character walking away, he's still just there like just watching you. It's like, hey, bye. And he has some of my favorite reactions to instant kills. Like he doesn't give a shit about Dizzy's. He's just like, are you kidding me? When Jacko comes
Which one is it? Which one is it? The one with the nuke is like
That's
Dizzy or whatever.
Yeah. She like launches her.
Yeah, he just. Then he just shrugs. He's like, "Oh, I've seen better."
I think the only one better than that is like Chip's reaction. Just the massive jaw. I'm like, what the fuck? That's what I was fighting.
I love that.
I like Biken's as well. The way she's clearly trying to look composed still, but she's like,
I can't take that.
Man, like, as a fan of Killer Instinct, because the original Killer Instinct is the first game I ever remember playing, I don't care for Spinal Cervantes. I'm sure Cervantes is cool. I don't know enough about his lore, but he seems to be a fan favorite. Spinal is just not a very interesting character. I main the shit out of him because he's a funny skeleton, but he's not a very interesting character.
I
just love his
Cervantes.
aesthetic.
Like Cervantes
Spinal
is awesome.
so cool.
I like that he's such an unforgivable asshole in every way. But the fight is...
I main the fuck out of Spinal, funny skeleton, but literally this dude's story throughout the course of KI history has resulted in a series of time and time again of Spinal was woken up to do the bidding of some asshole. Spinal did not like that.
Yeah, like I think it was talk. I asked in my server like the least important character to their own series Death Bell's used. The most requested one I can think of that has a character like that would be Cervantes Spinal, because Spinal, to my knowledge, has basically no plot relevance in Killer Instinct. You could just take him out.
Just cool.
And narratively,
well, like the closest thing he has to plot relevance is he's like he's not even friends with. He's just a co-conspirator with Con Ra.
Right, because they're both undead, like archetypes.
Also, his
now,
theme.
you compare that to
so
Cervantes.
Good.
Cervantes is the main antagonist of the first game in the entire Souls franchise, and despite dying and not having much relevance after that, he continues to be a persistent threat to characters, and is a consistent challenger. So, like, if they stop Nightmare, there is always the underlooming possibility Cervantes will grab whatever's left of Soul Edge and come back. Like, that's a constant threat. So you're putting the main antagonist of the first game of Soul Calibur against essentially a nobody in the world of Killer Instinct.
You're putting Soul Calibur's Orochimaru versus fucking Killer Instinct's, like, Zabuza.
Yeah.
Can I gush over Spinal's theme real quick and how amazing it is, though?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, it's pretty good.
It literally is played on a flute made from a human bone. That's amazing. And the weirdest thing is, it's in Swedish, so I sent it to Stoff, and he actually understands it. I'm like, wow, that's awesome.
Cool.
As cool as a bone flute is, that's still not as cool to me as Mick Gordon composing Doom 2016 and Eternal soundtrack with chainsaws.
Dude, Mick Gordon is just the fucking man, okay?
I cannot believe Mortal Kombat turned down Mick Gordon to do the soundtrack.
What they actually used, which was the limpest soft rap you've ever heard.
Just your might. Techno.
Yeah, they never brought them back either. They didn't bring back the people who made Techno Syndrome.
That would have been fine so too. Good. Saberwolf also.
It's crazy how the most iconic song in all of Mortal Kombat is one that, if I'm not wrong, was made for the movie.
Yeah,
it was. Yes.
Techno Syndrome, I think, is.
And I cannot name you a single other track in Mortal Kombat that I can even like kind of hum the melody to, other than the before finish him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
It's funny because like
They did not have.
fighting games had this reputation
Did
for
they
like
even-
awesome music. Mortal Kombat, despite being probably the second biggest one behind Street Fighter, does not have awesome music.
Does it? They don't
Well,
even
I'll
have
also
character
posit Mortal
themes, do
Kombat
they?
games, and this might be a hot take, aren't good.
Nowadays,
I'm not a
no,
fan of most of
none
them.
that. I like older ones. I
MK9
like
and
9
MKX
X.
are pretty fun, but
MKX
11
I
is a
like for
piece
the
of
guest characters.
shit.
Gameplay wise, I like the guest characters in MKX because I can just walk up and smack you in your face as Jason to bring this whole thing full
Yes.
circle. MK9
I am
I
the
think is a
fucking
bit too
Predator.
stiff for me. Like MK9's a bit stilted and awkward for me.
yeah, it's very awkward.
And MK11 is like a baby's first fighting game with like the two
Yeah.
I hate how
different bars.
slow it is.
You got
3D era Mortal Kombat, which is most of the games in the series, are just like they're not good. They're really fucking bad games.
I find them fun, admittedly, because of how janky and broken they are. Like it's fun to break
Like-
them.
Armageddon has an insane roster and is like really strange and like goofy, but it's not good. Good is very generous.
I think it's good in the same way like Sharknado's good, right? You can get a
It's
lot of
fun
fun
to
out of
watch
it,
it
but
burn.
it's definitely not mechanically sound. And the old games, very stiff, extremely stiff. UMK3 is probably the best game mechanically. I would probably argue, except maybe MKX.
Yeah, MK9 and MKX both feel very good to play.
Though frankly, I'd
Yes.
say Shaolin Monks probably blows all the actual fighting games out of the water, which is really
I
funny.
do like
That's
Shaolin
fair.
Monks.
But then all the fighting games blow out of the water all the other Mortal Kombat spin-offs.
Damn.
Fucking Special Forces.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna say like, "Oh, hot take from them: Special Forces isn't good."
Yeah, I played about 5 minutes
that
of it
one
once at
fan
someone
out
else's
there.
house, and put it down, moved on to like Soul Calibur 2 or whatever. I don't remember what we were playing, but I remember Special Forces I picked up for a couple seconds, or a couple minutes, and no.
There's gonna be that one fan out there who's severely offended by what you just said.
Forces.
It's my favorite Mortal Kombat game.
I think that would probably say more about what they think about the other Mortal Kombat games than anything else, but like
Well,
yeah.
they
Musically, I can think of tracks from basically any fighting game I've played, even if I can't remember them by name or hum them. I know there were tracks that I could just look up right now and I'd enjoy listening to them. Not so much with Mortal Kombat.
Does Mortal Kombat even have character themes? Like, you know, because Street Fighter does
I
it. Marvel
I
vs.
think so.
Capcom does
I
it.
think so.
Are
Maybe.
you sure?
think
I know, like Killer Instinct does it, and it's fucking amazing. Like,
I
man,
don't fucking.
Killer
I don't know. I
Instinct.
think.
TJ Combo.
maybe.
Street Fighter does
TJ
it.
Combo's the
I think-
hypest.
Pretty sure Tekken does it. King of Fighters, Soul Calibur, even Smash Brothers, even though that's mostly remixes, still does it. Under the Night in Birth, Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, fucking Arcana Hearts probably does it. I don't recall if Mortal Kombat does it.
I think the music's just for the stages, right? I'm gonna look this up.
Music. I mean, if you're being honest, music is a generous term.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's mostly just ambient, like pots and pans banging together with the occasional shh.
Like MK,
So, no, they
MK11 has a
Okay,
Liu Kang theme.
MK11 seems like the characters don't have themes. It's just for the arenas.
That would probably make sense, yeah.
Huh.
My
But that
bad.
means I've been robbed of my MK11 RoboCop theme.
I know, right?
I mean, why wouldn't you just listen to the RoboCop theme then?
That's fair.
RoboCop, Terminator, listen to the actual
Bum
themes.
bum 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 bum. Bum,
The most intimidating music
bum,
ever.
bum. Yeah, the most intimidating music to see as like fucking Krang is walking down the street at like 2 miles an hour at you.
To be fair, he has a gun. He has range.
He does have a gun, that's true.
I think it's funny. I think
He knows
I think,
how to spin that
RoboCop
shit.
probably has some like laser dodging feats, and that amuses me the idea of RoboCop like moving at hyper speed.
Just
That's
gets
still
in
not
his
as funny
car.
to me as the
Let's
fact that-
go.
Like Godzilla's versus battle speed would be like massively faster than light, and the idea of Godzilla like ducking and weaving it like MFDL speeds is the best thing ever.
Imagine if, because like in this fight, you know, Jason and Michael moving really fast. Imagine a Godzilla fight, but he's just
Yeah,
you're moving
because it's
so
equivalent
fast.
to
You can't
seeing a
even see
fucking.
it.
That's the equivalent of like trying to shoot at a building and it dodges.
Yeah.
It's like Squidward's house; it just moves out the way.
Yeah, like can you imagine you like bust out a rifle and you like try to take a pot shot at a building and it just fucking ducks to the left?
The building just appears
the-
behind you like nothing personal.
And it does it really fast too.
You
Oh,
don't even
God.
see it happen. The building just vanishes from your point of view.
I'm imagining Godzilla like just doing Ultra Instinct dodges.
But I mean,
Poor Gamera.
I think you could probably
Just
get
get his
Gamera faster than light if you really wanted to. I know, like when I did Destroyer versus Iris, I was really conservative with how I scaled them because I used like mostly direct feats for them. But I think
Mm-hmm.
with Gamera, with the Showa era, there's enough space travel that you could argue Gamera would scale to like Zegra and Zyrus. That's not it. It's not the name of the fucking squid. I got that name wrong. But or like just like the fact that he travels to space. I think in Super Monster. I would not remember. Most of that film is stock footage. I think it's like 93% stock footage. But
Research can definitely be a fickle thing. I've been researching Buck Rogers, as I'm sure both of you are more than familiar with.
yeah,
And like where I'm at in the original comic strip so far, the only shit that Buck has consistently is jumping belt, which reduces his weight to 4 or 5 pounds and allows him to jump tens of feet in the air, and a rocket pistol, which shoots bullets that explode with roughly the same power as a 20th century hand grenade. Neither of which are anything to sneeze at, but in the grand scheme of verses, that's not all that impressive. And then they say the horses that they put jumping belts on were able to clear like 500 feet or something. And I'm like, oh, so maybe I can just use that as a multiplier for Buck and how high potentially or how far potentially he can jump. Like, how far can a horse leap? And it's like 6,000 kilometers. I'm like, think that's true.
so that's the context of the image you sent me.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think a horse can jump that far. I don't think a horse could make a transatlantic jump in one go.
Probably
You
not.
are
I don't think that belt's gonna help
underestimating
it do that.
Topsy, the roid-raged horse.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I put a belt on my horse and now it can go from 6,000 to whatever fucking
Yeah.
like.
I'm
If a horse can
two-legged
leap
horse.
6,000 normally, it would make sense, I guess. It could jump 500 feet.
Yeah, I wish I had time
It's
to
a-
make a Halloween video this year because I really wanted to do like Dracula versus Carmilla versus Lord Ruthven using just the original books.
Yeah.
But I just like Carmilla's 100 pages. I think I could manage that. And I think the Vampire is a short novel. I don't know how long Dracula is. But I am a little bit concerned it's just going to come down to Dracula just stat stomping, which would be lame.
So, like, to at least my finding in my very admittedly surface level research of Lord Ruthven and the goings on of the vampire novel, I don't know how much like calcs you could really do on the things he does.
I don't think you could calc many of them. Okay, Dracula's 418 pages. It's four times longer than Carmilla. I don't think any of them really have much that you can calc, unless you want to use like the very vague storm that's related to Dracula, which I probably wouldn't. But generally, I think it would come down to their abilities. I'm hoping, because like Ruben's got like hypnosis and stuff like that, sort of thing. That's sort of weird, like regular powers. I imagine Dracula's going to win just because Dracula takes a lot from Carmilla, who takes a lot from Lord Ruthven, and yeah.
Ah, jeez.
I do like that
You know-
Lord Ruthven was written around the same time as Frankenstein, though. That's cool to me.
Mary
That
Shelley.
is neat.
I think is the same exact thing. Like they were. I think the story goes that they were like in a building and it was like raining and shit, and they like Lord Byron suggested they should write a ghost story, and like Percy Shelley wrote some ghost thing, and Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein, or something that would become Frankenstein, and Lord Byron wrote a fragment, and I think Polidori was his name, wrote the vampire. So Lord Ruthven versus Frankenstein technically would be a more fitting fight than Dracula, but just using the books. But yeah, I've honestly never looked at a fragment or the ghost story from Percy Shelley, but maybe they're good. I don't know.
I'm not too familiar with most of these to really give insightful commentary.
Well, I think fragment of a novel or a fragment is based on a demon. One's based on a ghost. One's based on the Frankenstein monster. The other one's
I like those.
Demons, they're so fun. I would love to hang out with one.
Yeah, ghosts. Those are pretty cool.
I want to hang out with the boogeyman.
Yeah, I don't think I could find the origins of the boogeyman. That might be a bit too difficult.
He's coming to get
I don't
you.
know. I mean, like, look it up. See if the boogeyman has a strict origin.
Imagine if there's like a Saint
The boogeyman.
Boogie. There's a Saint Boogie.
No, imagine it's not even that. It's just a Saint Boogeyman.
I'm just gonna...
They're like, oh, this dude was a complete saint, like, just went around spreading Catholicism, normal saint stuff. It's like, but he just looked weird, so people called him the Boogeyman.
Okay, from what I can tell, the boogeyman is too vague a concept to have a specific origin. But the word boogeyman originated as a quasi-proper name for the devil, derived from the Middle English boogie or buggy, meaning terror, or scarecrow. It relates to bugbear, from bug meaning goblin, and bear meaning a demon bear, apparently.
Oh.
So, it's Middle English and related to several Indo-European languages as well.
Huh. Have we properly signed off for this video yet?
No, we have not. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the rambling. We kind of gave up on that whole on-topic idea near the end.
Yeah.
Boogeyman.
But yeah, oh god, that's a lovely image. We'll see you guys for probably Sauron Lich King, I'd imagine. Yeah, there's not
I
much
might
else.
be here. Who knows? Depends on
knows?
if they'll have me.
Depends on if you want to be.
I would love to.
Then probably.
I have nothing to do on Sunday nights.
You guys can say goodbye, and then I'll go after that.
See ya, everybody.
Get out of my house.
Lovely. Alright, goodbye everyone. Remember, put down a hashtag VifWeedSweep. You can check my the Patreon if you really want in the description. And I'll see you guys all for the next video. It's probably a fucking review of the Jason Michael.